so little. That's so little.
And I think, oh man, it feels complex in the sense of men and masculinity,
Mm.
because I think about what you're saying, and I feel like a lot of times men don't give each other that just for internalized homophobia. But
Yeah.
then when I
Oh,
think of,
another thing. Oh man, we got to touch that. Okay. Okay.
yeah, but when I think of the queer community, a lot of men don't give it to each other because I don't know, because I
Really?
think about that with, yeah, and I say that because I think about that with some people where, like, there's this thing of throwing shade sometimes where it's like,
Mm.
I'm gonna give you a compliment, but I'm also give you like a backhanded compliment. Like I'm gonna throw a joke into this compliment, as opposed to, and maybe it's the lack of vulnerability, like removing
Oh.
homophobia and all that.
Ooh.
Maybe it's just the lack of vulnerability,
Ooh. Yeah. Oh. Oh man, that's heavy. That's heavy. The lack of vulnerability, and it's because a lot of us are afraid to be vulnerable. We're taught that vulnerability is weak. It is not a trait that a man should have. It shows that you're prey and not predator. You know what I mean? That's it. We do that to ourselves. Matter of fact, we're gonna go back. It's done to us
Yeah,
as kids. We're
yeah,
told not to feel this way, not to operate in this way because you're a boy, because you shouldn't be sad. Boys don't cry. You know what I mean? Like that's you a big boy. What they say, you a big boy. You're a big boy.
yeah,
You don't need to cry. What you crying for? Dry them tears.
yeah,
We're taught to be okay with only anger. You know what I mean? And we got to get to the fact that um, that sadness is okay and joy is okay. Joy that puts us in a spiritual space of understanding. You know what I mean? That and it's interesting. I had to come to grips with how that looked for myself. Um, and one of the ways that I've recently reopened my eyes to vulnerability is watching it with my lady, watching P Valley with my lady, and
yeah,
watching the hurt and the character, the murder character, and watching Uncle Cliff nurture him out of that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it put me in the mind to say that it doesn't matter what your orientation is, that level of nurturing is needed for a man. I
yeah,
mean,
of course.
like you to have people around you that care that dearly, to have friends that check in on you, not just when they want to dump on you, but to actually check on you to see how you are as a person, to see if you're okay, to see if you're eating, to see if you're drinking enough water, hell, to see if you
Yeah,
to see if you're moisturized today. Because
yeah,
as your friend, I can't let you be out here ashy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So we have to get to that too. Like and
yeah,
honestly, that's a thing. If you go back and look at the level of nurturing of that, Uncle Clifford is a feminine character. That's the embodiment of femininity. So
yeah,
that is something that we have to learn, that divine balance that in every person there's divine femininity and a divine masculinity together. And we have to tap into
yeah,
each of those and not be afraid to, and not to be afraid of what it looks like, because the people that it affect in the best way, they aren't going to care that how it looks. They're only going to care about that it made them feel really special or feel really good in a moment where they needed
yeah.
it the most.